So you've probably heard that you should never quit. But what if quitting is the key to your success? For me, it definitely was. Getting rid of the wrong things in my life freed me up to focus in on what was actually important. If you're feeling stuck in your career, finances, and personal growth, getting rid of those bad behaviors can open up doors that you didn't even know existed. I'm Terrell Higgins, and I was able to achieve millionaire status in my mid-30s, and my journey wasn't about working harder, it was about working smarter and getting rid of the mindsets and behaviors that were holding me back. And in today's video, I'm gonna be going over 8 different things that I quit doing in my life that actually changed everything. And some of these will certainly resonate with you. Let's get into it.
Your problems in your past aren't on anybody else's agenda. Not really. You may have a few people in your inner circle who care about what you're going through. But for the most part, no one gives a shit because they're dealing with their own issues and focused on their own lives.
In psychology, there's something called the spotlight effect. And it's the tendency for people to believe others are paying more attention to them than they actually are. And the truth of the matter is, people are so consumed by their own lives that they aren't actually paying any attention to yours. And this is a tough one because humans are social creatures. We seek validation from others, but opinions are cheap. And if you would not accept advice from someone, then you should probably not accept criticism from that person. You should have a small circle of people who are living that life that you aspire to live, and their opinions should be the only ones that actually matter. And once you stop worrying about what other people think, it frees you up to focus in on what's actually important, your own goals.
Take full responsibility for your life. Accept where you are and the responsibility that you're going to take yourself where you want to go.
Quit waiting for someone else to solve your problems. As a kid, if things weren't going quite right, or if you were doing something for the first time, an adult would show up to help you through it. But as an adult, there is no safety net. You have to set your own goals, set your own priorities, and you have to figure it out all by yourself. When I was transitioning out of the Navy, I had to parent myself. I had to decide what career field I was going to go into, how I was going to invest my money, what I didn't know, and I had to hold myself accountable to figure it all out. And sometimes things are broken and it's not even your fault, but you still have to take responsibility. You still have to fix it. But even taking responsibility, there's still something that can hold you back. Procrastination.
Every minute you spend feeling sorry for yourself is another minute not getting better, another morning you miss at the gym, another evening wasted without studying, another day burned when you didn't make any progress toward your dreams, ambitions, and deepest desires.
Quit assuming future you is going to fix everything. We often assume the future versions of ourselves are going to be more motivated, more disciplined, more capable, but future you is just you. Unless you take action today, you're going to have the same habits and the same excuses that you have right now. You cannot manifest your way into some sort of dream life. When I started investing in real estate, I kept analyzing, and weeks turned into months, months turned into years. I was waiting for this perfect moment to arrive. And the truth is, there's never a perfect moment. You just have to get started and you have to correct from there.
We cannot get time back, so we must be minute hoarders. The earlier I get up, the more I do. The less time I stay in pity party, feel sorry for myself land, the stronger I become, and the more daylight I see between me and everyone else.
It's so easy to just scroll on social media or binge watch Netflix, and you convince yourself you deserve it because you put in a long day of work. But once you do that honest self-assessment of where your time's going and how much progress you've actually made on the things that you claim matter most to you, you'll realize you're wasting a ton of time. And when I finally started protecting my time is when I started actually making progress. But time is not the only resource people take for granted. Your health compounds just as easily as your finances do. And a lot of Americans have major health issues before they even hit retirement. So if you want to avoid that same fate, you need to establish the correct habits in your early 20s. I know for me, I was working out way too hard in my 20s and I started experiencing joint pain and fatigue in my 30s, and I had to switch to a more sustainable workout routine and change up my nutrition. But even if you have your time and your health figured out, there's still some mental traps that you have to avoid.
I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You're analyzing too much. You're talking yourself out of it.
I used to overanalyze every situation, and I would live in fear that things wouldn't go the way they were supposed to. And once I finally broke free of that mindset, I was able to take more risk and get more rewards out of life. You have to stop building up the worst case scenario. If you are worried about something before it even happens, then you are suffering twice because you have to deal with that thing when it actually happens. So if you suffer before you have to, you are suffering more than you have to.
When you separate yourself from the pack by cultivating the values and priorities that lead to greatness, mountains of adversity and hardship become speed bumps.
I had to quit following the crowd. If you do what everyone else is doing, you're going to get the results that everyone else is getting. If you want a truly extraordinary life, you have to think and act differently. Most people aim for that safe path, job, mortgage, retirement at 65. If that's the path you want for your life, there's no issue with that. But I would encourage you to think, is this really what you want? Or are you just going along with the flow and doing what everyone else is doing?
Your failure matters as much as your success. How do you think you're going to grow if you don't ever fail? Yet some of you have failed and you have decided, well, guess what? I'm a failure. No, failure is an event. It is never a person.
I quit trying to be perfect. Nothing in life goes exactly the way you plan it. There's something called the Pareto principle, where 80% of the results actually just come from 20% of the effort. So you don't need to polish the cannonball and have everything perfect to get about the same results. Knowing when something is good enough and you can move on to the next task is very powerful, because now you've unlocked a whole new level of productivity for yourself. That pursuit of perfection can lead to paralysis and stop you from making any progress at all. You need to step outside of your comfort zone and be okay with the idea that you might fail. The life of your dreams is outside of your comfort zone, and I spent 6 years outside of my comfort zone in the Navy submarine force. It taught me to embrace challenges and take control of my own life. And if you're curious what other lessons I learned from the Navy submarine force, I did an entire video on that topic. Thanks for tuning in. I will catch you guys next time. More attention to us than they actually are. Come on, man. You going out here? It's super windy. Good luck out there.